We did it. We are selling ammo. NazoAmmo.com. We teamed up. Keystone Munitions, quality, premium product. We're selling it online. What do? You go to NazoAmmo.com. First thing that pops up, what's this? It's an email list. What's the email list do? It's going to give you access to promo codes. It's going to give you access to events, T-shirts, apparel, everything we're doing. Get on that email list. You want 45? 45's not on the website, but then it's coming in. You're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the guy who's just finding out about it. You're a part of the family. Very fast and furious how we do everything around here. Nazo Ammo. We are moving Keystone Munitions. Premium products. We're doing it. You want to pick up? You don't want to have it sent? You're Carl. You live down the road? Pick up Nazo at the promo code at the end. Now you're picking up ammo here. We're doing it, man. We are doing it. Nazo Ammo. www.nazoammo.com. Small town, big ammo. At Sabrachi Jewelry Design, or Sabrachi. I don't even say his name right anymore because of Zach. He's a sponsor of Now We Go, and he's a sponsor of this show. He's a dual sponsor. He's a gemologist. He's a jeweler. He's specialized in CAD design, and he's also a branding specialist. You need anything at all done in those categories, Matt is the best motherfucker for that. It's D'Antonio and Klein Jewelers in Philadelphia, PA, and he's also going to be doing it soon to be in Lehigh Valley, PA. You can call or DM for appointments. He's in Philly on 726 Sanson Street, and you can follow him on social media at Sabraki Jewelry Design. He's made pendants for finishers. We're working on stuff together. It's not just jewelry. We're working on pendants and all kinds of things. He's making rings. He can do anything that you need, from design to gems to jewelers. He is the real deal, and I'm excited. He's a childhood friend who grew a diamond business. He's a jeweler. We did a podcast with him. It's a cool story. Check him out. Sabraki Jewelry Designs. Mad J's Barbecue, www.madjsbarbecue.com. They take cash, they take credit card. You can order online. Order online is the easiest for everybody. They can also call in their order. They got 2 locations. They are killing the barbecue game. Started out small. Now these guys got 2 separate locations. They're doing catering. They're doing pop-ups at Seven Sirens Brewery. What else can these guys do? The Nazareth location is over at 52 East Lawn Road. Anybody knows where Nazareth is? It's down past 7-Eleven, right next to Rita's. Shout out Calandra. They are at 52 East Lawn Road, and that's 610-365-7275, and www.madjsbarbecue.com. Justin just opened up the second location, and he is a part of Willow Creek Brewery, and that is 643 Penn Avenue, West Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be having these guys on the show, and they are crushing barbecue, catering, in-store, pickup. They're doing it all, man. They're doing it all. Check them out at madjsbarbecue.com, and thank you for being a sponsor. Precision Laser. Precision Laser is a family-owned aesthetic laser practice in Easton, Pennsylvania that was founded in 2019. They offer laser hair removal, laser tattoo removal, vascular and pigmented lesion removal, acne treatment, and more. Their team of licensed experts use cutting-edge technology and safe laser protocols to deliver you the best skin results throughout Easton, New Jersey, and the greater Lehigh Valley. They provide free consultations and affordable pricing to make laser treatments accessible to you all. To learn more about their services or book an appointment, please go to precisionlaserspecialist.com or call 484-306-0089. They are located at 42 South 3rd Street in Easton, PA, 18042. What are they running this summer? Hair removal. I'd like to get this whole thing removed because of what do I want? A summer beach bod. They are running for $165 per session. You pick 2. Armpits, bikini Brazilian, upper legs, lower legs. This is what we're doing with them. I'm excited to have them, and I'm excited for them to be working with us. They're on the podcast. You can check out everything they're doing on the website, and thank you for being a sponsor. Look good this summer. Look good. Camera's crooked. Unbelievable. See how there's too much space above your head?
Yeah. What do you mean? Above my head? What's the thing that's... Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
Oh, it looks better now?
No, that looks fine.
So I'm saying now.
Yeah. Can you get rid of my hairline?
Yeah, I think you already did. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just sweating. Sweating for a wedding.
Yeah.
We're going to try a new intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Never Again Radio, man. How are you? I want to do that with strangers. You don't think going into this as a rock, like we're a rock band?
If you say that to them, you do the count off, and then they just be like, yeah, no, this is the part where we do some like special effects and stuff, and then they get the podcast. This is nothing.
Well, it's funny how different this has been, because in the beginning, I was even thinking about it the other day of like how doing like the very first podcast was, where it was like so awkward and like this is just like a job to me anymore and draining and like I hate it.
Yeah.
So like I'm so used to this now where all I do now is I just go, yeah, whatever, what the fuck. And then it's such a shock to the person, but it kind of like
loosens it up.
It loosens it up.
Yeah.
It's like a good bowel movement.
Yeah. I remember a couple of years ago, when we were just sitting on couches. Hanging out.
Yeah, because we were talking about like Rapp. Thank God we didn't waste our time doing any of those projects. I'm like, hey, let's wrap my coffee table that's now thrown out because everyone dumped beer all over it.
Yeah, you would have just threw it away. That would have been the end of it, our friendship.
Whoa. I don't even know if you guys had, did you have the big building at the time? At Old Scribby's? Oh, I just need a
When
towel.
When was that? Do you remember? 2006.
5 years ago? 4 years ago?
16. We built the building in 16. So, no, it probably wasn't, only because the intro, remember the intro video that you put in was like still from the old building.
Well, when the hell did we meet? Doing that project for Rothrock?
Yep.
That's what it was. It was the comedy.
George Wacker's comedy.
Yeah, the George Wacker's Comedy Fest with George Wacker, premiering George Wacker,
featuring
George Wacker, and then in
special guest.
Yeah, and then like the small print that's like the equivalent to like the Surgeon General's warning was then the people who were actually doing the event.
Thanks to Never Again Radio and Scribbles and Drifts.
Man, has this come a long way since then. We weren't even doing video.
No, you're right. And it was on SoundCloud. The first one was SoundCloud.
I hate SoundCloud.
That was the first. I mean, there's still some, SoundCloud's cool, I guess.
Oh, you go on there for like DJ playlists?
Yeah, if you got them. You know what I mean? You got to get the crowd going.
Have you ever DJ'd?
No. Professionally?
Yeah. No. Kids' parties?
I usually like to watch, I go to like kids' parties. I like to look in the distance, you know what I mean?
What? Why do you go to kids' parties?
I like to be across the street.
Oh, my lordy. We've been getting a lot of wings. And
let's talk about the importance of wings. I think the question that everybody wants to know, right? What's the question, Mike? There's two types of wings. Which one do you like?
I didn't know that they're called flats.
Flats.
Yeah. I like a drummy.
Yeah. Should we ask the studio audience? What do you got?
No. There we go.
Nope.
No, just us.
We should have set up the pillow with the Nick Cage pillow again.
Yeah. I would have had to set up a whole nother camera.
Right.
It's a thing to do.
Do you normally allow flies in here? And
it's all that comes in here is fruit flies anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
It starts at the beginning of summer and then
really falling apart.
Yep, that's why we're moving. There's not much more time you can spend down here.
Yeah.
All of the little annoyances that like you only caught like one every year, where I was like, oh, there's like these annoying fruit flies.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, right, it like sucks to keep a temperature down here. And then it's like, all right, like there's no windows. And then by the 5th year, all those things you notice at the beginning of the year, and then there's something new. So like it sucks. There was like a fucking water heater blew over there. And then, that caused issues, and the floor sucks, and we outgrew the place.
Yeah,
I can't.
fell over.
Yeah, I can't do anything I want to do. Like I want to do food stuff, and I want to do less podcasts, and I want to do cooking shows, and do fucking pop-ups out front of the studio. Like there's a lot of shit I want to do, and I'm not doing any of that shit here because it's just I pushed the boundaries of this building.
For sure.
legally. But yeah, the flies suck because you have to open the doors up because there's no fucking there's no windows, so I have to open the doors up, and then you open the doors up, and they seem to be worse this year. I would blame COVID.
The flies.
Yeah, the fruit flies and the bigger flies. I killed like 6 last week.
Yeah. A couple lantern flies.
Yeah, it's not easy getting chicky mamas down here
Some
when there's just
cicadas.
like jungle-esque animals.
Don't mind the lantern flies.
Over the winter, there was a family of mice that I killed with was traps and the electric fly swatter and the broom. I was on the phone, speakerphone with Keith Bodner during the war, and he's like, "Just pick up the animals," and I totally pussed out and was like I killed them, and then I didn't know if they were dead, and then I was just like, I don't want to touch them, man. And he's like, calm down, breathe. You got to do this, man. And it's like walking me through like a battlefield.
Could we talk about that? Are we allowed to talk about the what you and Keith have going on?
What?
On air?
The landlords?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like
no,
a
I
secret
wanted to get
project.
into the project, but then you're like, hey, I'd love to point out one of the black eyes of the studio, and there's animals down here, and we're trying to look cool. And like, there's production behind this, and you're just like, hey, it smells like shit down here.
Yeah. I said it smelled actually good, so let the record show. It smelled like fabric softener. Did everyone, I don't know if no one knows this, but I just found this out today, is that if you dump a whole container of fabric softener
No, it's not.
in your
Nope.
dehumidifier, it smells good.
Nope. It's I take Fabuloso, that's Spanish for fabulous.
Yeah,
and
he's not just reciting a Daddy Yankee song.
I don't have bursitis. I put it in the dehumidifier.
That actually is a really good idea.
It is. It's every time anyone comes down here, they automatically think I've cleaned, and I have not.
I want to do that.
The floor is still sticky, you know.
Yeah.
Landlords.
Let's talk about landlords. Honestly.
I
think this is a really. I love from like a design perspective, from the name. I think the name is phenomenal. I think the design isn't bad. I don't remember who did it.
Sean.
Yeah,
He's my go-to guy.
Yeah, I don't care. But
Right.
he it's not bad, the design. I like where it's at. I think it's got like a cool like 80s like Miami Vice vibe.
I'll tell you exactly
and
what
it just
is.
looks sweet.
And for
really
you
like it.
trashing my design, it's the Blade Runner font.
Makes sense, yeah.
And it just has Hawaiian print. And I said, can you do the Blade Runner font and put Hawaiian print? And that's what he did. I don't know what else you wanted out of that logo. I mean, you could definitely do cool stuff, because even like how I'm thinking now, like remember the Sierra logo, or like the old video game logo where it's like, and it's got like the bars.
Yeah.
So and then you could also do a Tron feel with that.
Yeah, you need like the cool like
Max
neon,
Headroom.
like the neon flare, you know?
Yeah, that's what I want to do on the bike.
Like and then it should be like this cool like cursive, landlords, palm tree.
Yeah, we can. I'm in. Let's do shit. I don't care.
That's got to be a shirt. Definitely.
Yeah, so we came up with landlords from playing Call of Duty, and we started a Grom gang. Keith got me into riding. He rides, he teaches, he goes away on the weekends. He's in like the big boy bikes, like he went to wear full leathers. And,
Yeah. Do you know what he raced? What's he racing?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Cool.
He's got name a bike. Yeah. Name a fast bike.
Well, I mean, there's like different like classifications as far as
start naming them.
Like motorcycles go. Like I don't know if does he race like 600s? Do they race like thousands?
I don't know. The thing that he works for is Evolved GT. That's all I know.
And he teaches.
Yeah, he's a teacher.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I think he picks up his track time because he's teaching, and then they get to go down to the track every weekend, and they take a trailer. And then I didn't understand why he did it.
Yeah.
And then when I got on a bike, I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Yeah, I'm like, this is just such a disconnect. It's plugging away.
Once you start learning like the techniques as far as like turning and all that stuff, it just makes it like that much more fun.
I have the Grom, and it does about 50, 52 with my fat ass on it.
Yeah.
I got it up to 63. That's the fastest I've gotten it.
Downhill.
Yep. And then it goes to like 45. I'm like, ee. But I'm starting to try and pay attention how to turn better, because I went out riding with Keith, and we went out for like
10 hours we were out, just out in the fucking mountains.
Yeah.
And he's like taking these fucking turns where he's like leaning all in, like, you know, like he's racing the fucking thing. And I was like, oh man, like that's much safer than me being like, ah.
Yeah.
So I started kind of paying attention to my speed and like leaning, because it's like uncomfortable to like, because in the beginning I'm just turning the front wheel, which I shouldn't be doing at a higher speed.
Shift your weight.
So I just started getting into that, because if I go the back way from my parents to the studio, there's like a lot of windy roads.
Yeah.
So I've just been kind of going back there.
practice.
Yeah. The way it's going to work out is I definitely got really comfortable on the bike now. Like I really like it. I don't stall out. You know, sometimes my foot won't go all the way up. It'll just go in the neutral and shit, dumb shit like that. But like, I've come far where I'm like comfortable riding. I'm not afraid to be on a busier road. I can go on the back roads. I understand the braking concepts. Like I'm learning weight. So when I bought upgrades for the bike. So like now I got an exhaust, a cam, and all this stuff that's going to make it faster. Yeah, those are the parts there. And then and I'm getting rid of that back fender, that fucking dinosaur bullshit off the back.
Yeah.
So like now that it's going to be a little bit faster is like I'm comfortable being like, okay, because now I'm like, all right, this bike's fucking slow. In the beginning I was like, oh, I'm on a motorcycle. Now I'm like, all right, get the fuck out of my way. I did pass one person so far.
Ooh.
They were doing like 30. And we were coming down a hill, and Keith went around him because we would have just been stuck, and I wouldn't have been able to really get up the hill because I would have had to keep 30, and it would have just been 20 minutes. So I went to go around him, and I like look over, and like we're both doing 30. I'm just like, yee! And then I finally got in front of him, and Keith's going, yeah! It's fun. It's fun. And then
That's what it's all about.
yeah, and then so he takes the trailer down, and they go down for 3 days. So Monday, there's Evolve GT's running a thing at the track. I guess there's a track in Jersey.
Okay.
So I'm going to go down. He said I could use Becky's bike, but I'm not comfortable. Like, I really want to walk it and, like, just hang out for a day and get comfortable and then get into it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down Monday and then sit in on, like, I guess you have to go through, like, a class before they go out. So I'm going to sit through the class, and then, like, he's going to take my Grom down so I can get around when I'm down there, but I'm going to spend the day at the track. But I'm going to have him teach me how to, like, professionally turn. And then I'm going to take, like, the safety course and all that bullshit. I'm trying to be responsible, but do fun shit with it at the same time.
That's the best way to do it, though, honestly. Like, I know years ago when I was, like, heavily riding, I was, like, okay at riding. Like, my dad taught me, you know, when I was young, and I always went out. I built a couple bikes, like every bike I had, you know, we just kind of like built because I like to know the bike. So I'm going to build it. I'm going to redo it, strip it down, do all that stuff. But as far as like technique for like riding and stuff, I always had like respect for the bike, but riding and cornering and, you know, knowing that stuff, the technique is like completely different. And so I had one buddy who used to do a lot of like track days and this and that. And he was an underwater welder, younger guy. Underwater welder, he was down in like Louisiana or something like that for a while. Bought a bike down there, and this dude, he forever he's raced dirt bikes, quads, all that stuff. Like he was really good. But he came home, brought the bike, started riding with me, and then it just kind of like just by me kind of watching him ride. Or he was like behind me, kind of telling me like, hey, you know, try doing this, try doing that. You know, and adjusting what I'm doing, you know, as I'm riding made huge difference. And I would say within one summer, my riding just completely changed from like what I was doing before, looking like a moron, to, you know, actually learning a little bit. Now, I wasn't by no means am I, you know, Keith.
Popping wheelies.
Yeah, like I'm not Keith where I'm, you know, racing on the weekends or anything like that. But
no, I mean,
I learned a lot of stuff from him. Just the basics of like cornering and, you know, doing all that stuff. More efficient anyways, especially for like just riding on the roads. You know?
I've just noticed how much time I've put into it, where I think I'm at like 400 miles almost since I got it. I got it in the middle of winter and just didn't tell anyone. And like Keith, he was like, you know, like, hey, you should just get a fucking Grom and we'll just start dicking around on back roads. Yeah. And he's just like, you know, it's a good way to fucking go do shit. So I was like, fuck it. And I went down and talked to him at Blackman's, and, you know, it wasn't fucking expensive. And like, and they were like, look, we know you know Keith, but like we can't give you a deal. We don't make any money on Groms.
Yeah, Groms are like flat for the most part. I think,
yeah,
right?
because I guess like what the plan is that, which is working with me, where they're like, they want you to get a Grom, and then you get used to riding, and then you want to ride more, and then you get into something a little bit more serious. Which I'm already like thinking, I was like, all right, maybe in 2 years, like I would get into a real bike.
Yeah,
but I want to have fun. Like the Grom. There's so much cool shit you can do with them, which I didn't know. Like Stacy has one down the shop. Harvey upstairs got one where he like slammed it and stretched it out. So like I didn't like he was explaining to me like they didn't realize like the culture that was going to come behind the Grom, where like there's so much you can do to them. And then when like Keith was telling me like what to do with the exhaust and all this other shit, like it's fun.
Yeah.
And then when we talked about wrapping the thing, I was like, yo, I'm like, why don't we do this landlords thing? And then you sent me some fucking some stuff today, and I'm excited to kind of go through the whole process of like how you get something wrapped, because I never got anything wrapped before.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool thing to do to take something simple and
Yes,
make it fun, you know?
Yeah, because I sent it to Keith and he was dying laughing.
Yeah, and it's like the louder and the more obnoxious you can be on like something like that. I think it's just fun, like because you on a bike like that. You can do whatever you want. I would put it up there with like a high horsepower car or like a badass car or something like that. We always tell people like even rapping, working, whatever. Like if you have like my boss, he's got the Cadillac, the CTSV, and that thing is like over 700 horsepower. It's an awesome car. He could wrap that car pink and it wouldn't matter. Because the car backs up. Whatever you do to it doesn't matter. You could talk trash and then still, lay some rubber down and you're going to beat a lot of things on the street regardless. Now if you're doing that in a Honda Civic and you're wrapping it pink and you're just like, whatever. Like you get like a different vibe.
It to race wars.
Yeah, you get a different vibe out of that. You know what I mean? It's a completely different vibe. Trying to race Johnny Tran.
June 25th.
Yep. Racing it for pinks. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and,
like,
and
so
with the Groms, it's like you can.
It's just fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And then like, it's cool because like I started looking into like how people are doing different bikes and how the graphics are, and like I'm excited to kind of go back and forth because we have like the first version of it. And then after you said about the palm tree and the script, I was like, well, I mean, maybe if you did that on the gas tank and then like did the floral stuff too, like you really have like the sky's the limit, as they say. Really, but that was what was cool, because when I got it, like it looks cool orange, but like I don't want it to be basic anymore. It's like the mirrors themselves are garbage and like blow in the wind, and I'm like, this is just completely unsafe.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna change the bars out, the back fender definitely, because it just looks terrible. It's like the ass end of a fucking dinosaur. Yep. And then and then just wrapping it, it's just gonna look super fucking clean.
So you're doing the Eliminator, right? And then you're doing what are you doing for the bars? Pro tapers.
The Pro Taper minis, I think Keith said. I got to talk to Jake Daney, works at the one shop, whatever, for like dirt bikes and shit. So I'm gonna go over there, and they have it in stock. So I'm just probably gonna go over and have them put them on or whatever, and just hook it up. But no, I might change the seat out eventually. Keith has a different seat on it. Like, but there's so much shit you can do.
Don't have them put it on though. Do it yourself.
No, I'm going up there to Keith.
Or have Keith do it.
And we're gonna work. I want to know how to do it all.
Exactly.
He has all the tools, because he was like, "Yo, you can throw that exhaust on." And I'm like, I have like an adjustable wrench and a flathead, and that's about it for what I got down here for tools.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm like, we can do it in your garage, and I know he'll make me do a lot of the stuff, but I want to do it. I want to learn how to do it.
It's better to learn,
and I think it's not going to be that difficult on that bike.
Yeah.
So. Between YouTube, Keith, and whatever.
That's a good starter bike, just learn the basics, Yeah. And obviously, you have Keith's guidance, so. I mean,
and I want to be able to go, like,
there.
so it should be able to go from, like, 55 to, like, 70. Yeah. I think it's going to max it out to, so I'm excited to just be able to fucking move.
Yeah.
Like, because even now, like,
I think at 70 on that bike probably feels insane.
Well, like, now it's like I was ripping back and forth to town, and, like, I can only do like 45, and I'm just like, me. And then like, now that I'm like comfortable, I'm realizing how slow it is. And I don't want to do a $120.
Right.
But if I was doing 60 to 65, I could definitely be getting ripping through town.
Well, there's a lot of
ripping
people
and tearing.
There's a lot of people that always say like I had a buddy, you know, he used to buy and sell motorcycles. That's all he did. That's how I got my first bike. But you know, he sold me like a damaged one whenever he fixed it up. But everybody always says like you start with a 600, and then it really only takes you like a year or two.
Yeah.
To realize that once you start riding with guys that have leader bikes, that you like. Your 600 is
I couldn't keep up with Keith.
Not there. Yeah.
And it was just his Grom, and he was just like.
So it'd be like the same thing with like it'd be like Keith riding a leader bike and you're riding a 600 right now, where like you're constantly in the high revs.
Yeah.
And it eventually gets annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, some people like that. I know a lot of guys that have 600s, thousands, like they've just got all the levels of motorcycles. So like I had a 600 and then I went to a leader bike, and it's a completely different experience because you just don't feel like you're just like. You're constantly in this like high, annoying
it's like I got to
rev.
downshift to third to get up a fucking hill because it's just like yeah, and I'm like fly fat ass fly. So I'm hoping this you know, from it's what he did to his bike. It's a little bit different of an exhaust, but for the most part it's what he did, and you know his bike's kind of maxed out I believe, but I don't know, it's just fun. We went out only one time and I'm just like we're gonna go down to the track Monday, so that'll be fun. But like once the bike's done, and you know it's gonna be down for probably like 2 weeks because we have to send the computer out and all that shit.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
But like when it's all done and wrapped and finished, like it's gonna be a fucking blast to have all summer.
It's gonna look awesome too.
Yeah, and plus gas prices are totally fucking insane. So it's like $3 to fucking fill the tank, and it lasts all fucking week. But I use it constantly. Like I had to come into town to let the barbershop open, so I was like fuck it, and I just threw my book bag on. It's at my parents now, but like if it wasn't raining I would have brought it down here, like, you know what I mean, like I'm just using it as my daily driver all fucking summer.
Why
and
not?
It's what I wanted to do with it.
It's a good way to learn too.
Yeah, so it's like I'm on it pretty much every day as long as the weather's permitting. But then, you know, I fucked up, and like it was the one night it was like still kind of cool and summer didn't break in. I was like wearing a tank top was fine until I got on the bike. And I'm like,
cold
I got to my house, and my dad's like, "What's up with you?" I'm like, "I just froze my fucking balls off." Yeah, so it's just fun. I like taking it out now, and like I'll be like, "Oh, I'll go down to you know, this place," and then, you know, like I just had to go to the bank. So I'm like, "All right, well, how am I going to get to PNC without going on like 248 and dealing with like I like back roads. I like going into the mountains. I'm not really a fan of like cars, traffic. Even going through Nazareth, I'm just like, you have to pay attention.
You have to be careful. Yeah.
So I like went to PNC and I went down 191, cut the back way, went through the back roads, and then came out to Trains and Lanes, and I was like behind it. So it's fun, like taking the longest way possible. I figured out a way to get to Sailors. So like I went the back way into Easton, followed the river, and then like came out right to the public market. And then I was like, you know, got a hoagie, and like now I'll just kind of find different things. But then now it's like, it's not just like running around. Like I do so much running around where like I'll just run somewhere and then come back, and like everything's a fucking hurry, and then it's like my phone's going off. So like if I take the longest way possible on a fucking mini bike, I'm gone for like 45 minutes. So it's like making more time for like shut down with my fucking brain, which is the most important thing. I laugh the entire time. I wore a kimono last time I was riding.
You ride, especially when I used to ride with, you know, my buddies. If you have a good group of guys that you ride with, because like I've ridden in bigger groups. You know, we were those guys who used to go to Sheets and stuff like that. It was so stupid. But like, then you start meeting up with guys that you're not comfortable riding with. Then you start riding with
wild
them.
cards.
They're the ones that are doing wheelies on 22 at 100 miles an hour. And like, like you know,
and all you're thinking is like, I got to fill out a police report.
Yeah. So when this guy bails in front of me, and the other 20 guys that we're with, like, you know, who's gonna get out of the way and who's not, you know, and you start to learn when you ride with your friends, like you start to get that like kind of unspoken. Like, you know where to be, you know what that person's going to do. And then it makes the experience like way better. And then just like riding, you know, something that is like a normal, you know, errand or something like that becomes fun.
Yeah, it's true because I just now use it to even I had to go to Giant. I just threw a fucking backpack on. Yeah. I just had to go like just anything dumb now. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna take the Grom. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just and like when I went out with Keith, and I haven't really rode it with anyone else. I do want to ride with Harvey because he wants to like kind of go towards Blue Mountain and shit. And there's so many cool.
There's
like,
great roads back there.
Even around in Bushkill, like I went up past the Indian Tower and then went left, and then like it wrapped around going to like these back roads through Morristown, and then I came out at fucking Point Phillips, and I was like, oh, this is a cool ride if like I want to go from the studio this super long back way to grab lunch at Point Phillips on the way to my parents' house. And like, I didn't know where I was for a little bit because I was just like, what the fuck? And then like, that's what I was doing. I was just like, I'll go left. And then like, eventually I kind of came out to where I actually wanted to go. But that ride to my parents' house is 7 minutes. I was out for fucking almost an hour. And then like I'm always just more relaxed when I come back. And then it's just like all the stupid shit on my phone isn't anything none of it's an emergency. It's just me trying to make money and like run the business and do all this shit. And sometimes that gets to be too much. And then I'm just like, dude, like I need to just get the fuck away. Yeah. So I know Harvey wants to go, but like when I went with Keith, like he's a teacher. So he's like, hey, like he's like, showing, hey, like we're going to be slowing down, and I'm like, oh, okay, like you're actually paying attention to the fact that I don't know anything.
Best person to ride with.
Yeah.
You're going to learn all the good things and none of the bad, realistically.
Yeah, because like there's things that he's already saying where he's like, don't do that. It's a bad habit to pick up.
Right.
Just do this right away. Right. Don't even fuck with doing that.
And it's easier to learn it right the first time than to pick up bad habits and then try and get rid of those bad habits. So I think riding with him is great.
Yeah, like he was big on like safety and shit immediately. It was like, yo, don't fuck around, get a full face helmet, like take the fucking safety course. Do not listen to anyone that tells you. Because I had friends who were just like, who fucking cares? And then he's like, dude, like learn it. And then I talked to Shivey, and Shivey's like, I got my Harley. I thought I was too cool to do it. And then he said, and then I went to take a turn and judged it wrong. And he's like, I drove through this guy's backyard while he was like sitting on his porch, and he's just like, raw. And he goes, I almost fucking lost the whole bike. He goes, I parked and didn't ride it for a month. And then he goes, then I took the safety course. Yeah. And in the safety course, we went over what happened where like he hit gravel and like lost control and didn't know what to do. So he just rode it out and went through some guy's yard. But I'm just like picturing him with like his Sons of Anarchy shirt on. He's probably got like the German helmet with the spike.
Yeah, he's got the cut on. Yeah. I've had all the different types of bikes, but dude, people are gonna give me shit for it, but like I'm not a Harley guy.
I know. I've always wanted the crotch rocket. I always wanted to go fast. I like the Harley vibe, and like I definitely like pagans and like that whole thing with like gang violence and stuff like that. I love a lot. Yeah. But like
I respect a nice bike. Like there's a lot of nice Harleys out there. There's a lot of guys that spend a lot of money making those bikes very, very nice. And I like what
do you like a chopper or do you like a glider?
I don't even know.
What did you have?
I like everything. I had a Sportster 48.
Yeah.
So, and with me being like smaller, I didn't want anything. I didn't want a bagger or anything like that.
The 8 bars.
Like maybe I could have got a Dyna or something like that, but I just wanted something like I didn't know how much I would be into a Harley.
Do you like the Buells?
Buells are not. They're kind of cool.
That's
like
more my speed with those bikes, though.
Buells have like this just look about them that's like it's a Buell, and I think that's unique. Did you see the
KTM street bikes?
I love KTM.
Those are fucking awesome. Some dude had one parked up the street.
Like the KTM Super Dukes and stuff like that are really, really sharp.
Now, what's the size on that?
I think they have a 690. I know that's one of them. I think they have a 1000, and then I think there's a lower one to compete with like the lower end model. There's like an entry level, like a 125 or a 300, maybe a 300. I think they got one down there. That's about that. But I mean, KTM just makes a cool looking bike. I don't know much about them though.
I think it's Kawasaki makes a Grom style too.
They do, yeah.
And that's cool. They got cool colors for it.
I've always had Kawasaki, so that's like I like that.
I had a 95 CR 125. My grandmother bought it for me because all my brothers were racing, and like we'd go back into the quarry, and everybody was dirt biking, and it was like Crusty Demons of Dirt was huge. You had to go to Rossini's Racing to get, a VHS of the Crusty Demons of Dirt, and that's the only place you could buy Metal Militia T-shirts at the time.
Yeah.
So everyone's riding all summer, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a bike. So my mom, my grandmother, I talk. Well, why can't I get a bike? Oh, we'll get you a bike. So we went down. And I was like, I'll make payments on it. I'll pay you back. Okay. So we went down to the Honda. It was the Honda dealership in Penargil at the time. And they had a fucking black, white, and red 95 CR 125. And the dude who had it raced it. And it was fucking pristine, and I think they only wanted like $2,000 for it at the time. So my grandmother bought it for me, and I was like, fuck. And everyone was like, yo, that bike's fucking awesome. And I later in life sold it for like a couple $100. And I wish I wouldn't have, just because it was like, I just kept it because it was such a cool looking bike. And it was hooked up for racing. So I didn't even get a chance to learn it. I rode it a couple times and just went, bah, 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 bah.
Right.
Learned nothing on it because I bought it. And 2 weeks later, everybody said they didn't want to ride anymore, and they stopped riding. And my brother sold his bike, and my other buddy who had a four-wheeler is just like, yeah, we're not into it anymore. And then I just had a fucking $2,000 fucking dirt bike that I just then started driving blacked out at parties.
Yeah, wow.
And then I just never got to ride again. And I feel like I missed out that time. And then now that's like, I wanted to wait because I knew I was like super immature to be on a motorcycle, just because I knew I would drive like a fucking asshole. Like I realized like when I got the Mercedes, when I leased the first one, which was like fast and was like the 6-cylinder, which was like the Sport Plus, like it fucking went. It was definitely the fastest car I've ever owned. And it drove like a fucking race car, and you could just beat the shit out of it and just, it went. So I paid attention to how I was driving with that. I was like, dude, you should definitely. But I don't want like a Harley. I don't want a loud, slow ride.
That was the thing with the Harley. I liked my Harley. I thought it was like it was a cool bike. I did everything I wanted to do to it. I wrapped it and did all that stuff and made it look the way it was, all blacked out. Like it was a sharp bike. It sounded good. It was nice. I had like brass, like all kinds of brass. I had brass handlebars and foot pegs and all that stuff. Like. It was really nice. And I made sure I did it in a way where, like, I bought all the Harley parts, which are, like, overpriced. Did all that stuff because the resale value is, like, a little bit better. But I had it for, like, 2-3 years, and it was the same thing. Like, I guess I bought it because I didn't ride for a while. I bought it because I missed it, and I was like, I'm getting a little older. I never tried a Harley yet. Like, let me give it a shot. And I bought it down at Schaefer's. Like,
how did it ride? Was it, like, smooth?
Oh, God, dude. It rode like you're riding a wet sponge, like a wet blanket. It was so bad. The shocks were bad. The forks were awful. Like, it just, everything about it, I didn't like. I wasn't into. And just because I'm coming from like a sport bike or something like that, where like the technology is just way different. So getting into that, where like I used to like going, I was never big into like, going as fast as I possibly could, but I liked, carving corners and
I like going around somebody if you
like
have
going
to.
Up, right, like going up Blue Mountain, doing stuff like that, because that's local, where I grew up. So like riding all those, like we, me and my buddies used to go out for hours, like every Saturday, every Sunday.
Dude, we went out for the whole fucking day. We went to Beltsville. And we went down to the one dock, and that was just awesome going there because it's like you're carving through the fucking mountain. And I was like, this is awesome. And there wasn't a lot of traffic. There wasn't people all up on our shit. There was a couple of sketchy things where Keith was kind of like, hey, you're a little bit too far out on the road.
Right.
But then we went from there to the campground, which was a couple miles further out from where Beltsville was. So like we were gone for like the whole fucking day.
Yeah.
And then it's like when we got back, I was like, dude, how long we were out? And it was like, we did 150 fucking miles.
Yeah.
But I wasn't tired. Like I was like, this is fun. We stopped and got gas. Like it was fucking awesome. Like it's a really nice fucking way to get the fuck away.
Yep.
And it's like I got a backpack on, so it's like I'm not taking my phone out because you got to take your fucking helmet off and all this other shit. And the only thing that I would probably get is the phone holder he had, but only for GPS. I'd probably go airplane mode.
I agree. Yeah.
And if GPS would still work.
You should definitely do airplane mode when you're trying to get your GPS to
Notifications I would turn off. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Bikes are fun. And then I think I eventually ended up just kind of falling out of it. Like I just sold my Harley over the winter. It's like nobody was riding anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing. And then it's like, well, this isn't fun anymore. Like,
No.
cause I like going out and riding, but like, I don't know.
The Grom's easy.
Yeah.
It's fucking easy. Like
I'd rather ride.
Yeah.
Like, so like if you and Keith had one and then I picked one up,
No,
you
you
know,
should.
and then it'd be fun to like riding it. You know, if you're riding with one or two guys,
landlords.
Landlords, you know, pay up. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want something fun again. And I think I'll get it, you know, eventually. Just now's not the time.
No, I think down the road you should get one, and then I'll
Yeah.
get rid of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that sounds like a great idea.
Well, when I saw that KTM, I'm like, man, if this is a step up from the Grom, I'd have no problems in 2 years looking into getting a fucking KTM.
Sure. And you'll find that
It's a
eventually.
fucking awesome looking bike.
You'll find that eventually, probably with what you'll do, and what I see a lot of guys do is like they still keep their Grom,
Yeah.
and then they just get another bike.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then you
Groms
kinda
are so
decide,
fun.
You know, like if you actually want to go out and do some like serious riding, then you hop on the other bike. But if you just want to go out and, you know, have a good time.
Oh, it's upstairs. I thought somebody was trying to get in.
Yeah. Don't try it.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you know, just keeping it in general. Just,
Why not?
it's like a grocery getter now.
Yeah. And with something that, you know, that affordable or that cheap, like what's the point of getting rid of it? You know, you're not going to get your.
Yeah, I looked
your-
for them used. I'm like, all right,
money's
so you
worth,
want me to
I
give
think,
you
personally.
$2,500 when I can get a brand new one for three?
Yeah. Exactly.
Get out of here.
Yep.
And then they're like, no, man, I didn't beat the shit out of it. It's like, that's what you do.
You
is
lie.
beat
Yeah,
the
that's
shit-
what.
you
That's
beat the
exactly
shit
what
out of
somebody.
a Grom.
Yeah. Somebody who just destroyed that bike. That's exactly what they would say, because that's what I would say. 100%.
Southside 313. Why don't you tell me about that place?
Let's talk about this. I don't care what anybody says, because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of weird comments and stuff like that.
Well,
with
I
a
got
lot of
weird
people
comments
that-
from
yeah.
just posting that
Yeah,
story.
A lot of people that don't really know what a good wing is, but it's all good. Southside 313. I don't care what anybody says. If you never had them, okay. So if you went and you had them, and then you're like,
Well, see, a lot of people still say that, what was that, Loopers?
yeah.
Yeah. See, that gets a bad rap.
Well, sure, Loopers gets a bad rap, but I went to Loopers a couple times, and then
Well, that's what everyone says, oh, the old Loopers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they just didn't change the
Looper-
name.
yeah, so what? Were you a member of the Martini Club? Who cares? Go and get their food.
They had a martini club.
They did.
You probably got your shirt.
I had a buddy. Who was one
Pinky's
night.
out, boy.
Yeah, one night, a couple of my friends joined the Martini Club just for like whatever, and then they had a couple of them there, and then my one buddy puked at the bar, like right at the bar, and then we had to go. And that was the last time I was at Loopers.
That's definitely shit I would do. Or I'd be like, I
Yeah.
would definitely like to join the martini bar, and then they go through their whole spiel, and they're like, well, we have different ones, and
just
then you
give me
then you just drink 12
Yeah, it's just
and black out and projectile vomit, and then my friends are like, you're not joining the martini club. I am.
Yeah.
I like martinis.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. Then they go to the bathroom. You sign up secretly.
Signed up.
Ugh. Worst, probably most I've ever been whacked. I went to Atlantic City, and I think I had like 15 or 20 apple martinis. It was my first time getting into martinis, not understanding that just because they tasted like
Dangerous.
Jolly Ranchers
Right.
doesn't mean
Doesn't mean there's not alcohol in them.
So I'm hammering them, and we're at the bar. Yeah, hey, fucking another apple teeny. Clone. Like, you know, they're like, dude, watch it with those. Fuck you. Clone.
Is that the noise you make when you drink?
I wake up hours later to an EMT. Yo, buddy, you all right? Like at the bar.
Yeah.
And this guy, and I come to just out of the blackout. What's up? Nothing, man. You all right? Your friends wanted me to check on you. I said, yeah. I'm like, what would be the issue? And he's just like, you had a bit too many. And I was like, well, I don't know what's going on now. And I go, round 2. I ordered a beer, and he started drinking again. And they're like, no. And I ended up drinking the rest of the night. But in that time period that I don't remember, I was carried everywhere we went for like 4 or 5 hours. Just like out cold, unconscious, like they took me, and there was pictures where we went to a bar, and they brought me into the bar. Hey, this is him. He's with us. We're in Atlantic City. and they were like dragging me down the boardwalk. We go in, there's like a cover band, and the band's like draws attention to us, and the band's like, bring them up, and they put me in a chair on stage and did their entire set with me like sleeping in a fucking chair. And like I come to, and like the ride home, I'm kind of like, you know, like people are like talking and like, you know, they're like, oh man, like that was so fucked up. And then, you know, you play it off, but then I'm just kind of like talking to like Josh and my other friends and being like, yo, like what happened? Like, cause I don't remember 6 hours. I'm like, dude, they're like, you had to fucking, you know, carry you. And then, you know, then I had to go to the guy who coordinated the trip. I'm like, you mad at me? And luckily, like I didn't do stupid shit when I blacked out.
Right,
like I always was like nice to people.
Right.
I would start hugging strangers, and then like the most I would do is I would drink your drink and then pay for it because I would realize after that I shouldn't have done that, or I'll just take your cigarette and keep walking. Other than that, but like I mean, there's people who like start fights all the time.
Yeah,
so
you're
like,
right. You're right.
and like I would always be funny about it. So like I really dodged a bullet with like getting the shit kicked out of me.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's I know what your Martini Club friend's all about. So Loopers used to be and everyone I talk to is like fuck that place.
Yeah, no, and honestly, and I don't blame anybody for saying that at all, only because that place honestly stinks. But the food is like, and now it's like, it's not the best bar. Would you? I mean, don't you think like it's nice, but it's not like it's like I need to come back here because this place is so sick.
I like it because it's not trying to be anything else.
Yeah,
it's just a bar. But like those are the bars that I grew up in my 20s, where it's just a bar you get fucked up in,
Right.
and then if you were lucky, it had good food.
Right.
That place does have good food, and like I like the bartender. She was cool. Like it just feels like a bar you can get fucked up in.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna be like, get out of here.
Yeah,
or like, you know, you go down you know, the bar down the street. I'm not going to mention names, but it's right by a quarry. They will tell you like how many shots you can drink.
Right.
You know, even Cherry Hill now. But I mean, Chico ruined that when I used to work there. Like it was such a blackout bar that like they control how many shots you do. Like I like going into a fucking regular bar like that. What Southside feels like is like a bar you would walk into off the boardwalk, and like you just get fucked up.
Yeah, and they like wouldn't say.
But I like that vibe. I like that you can get Rolling Rock cans. I love that I'm not paying fucking $19 for some fucking shitty IPA fucking horseshit brewery in Nazareth.
And they didn't have High Lifes, but it's not that big of a deal.
No.
It's not
But
a deal breaker.
that's the type of place. That's the type of place. If we asked them to start getting fucking, if we went there every Tuesday, they would pick up a case of fucking High Life.
That nice lady would get us High Life. She definitely would. Or she'd probably let us bring a 6-pack and drink it off the bar.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so I think you hold a lot more credibility than me as far as food goes, because no one really knows who I am. I'm Joe Schmo. I'm Joe Schmo off the street, but at least, you know, people who are listening to this, you know, follow you. So I convinced you for how long?
It was about 2 to 3 weeks.
To come to Southside
Yeah.
and try the wings. We're like, oh, we're going to get wings. We're going to get wings. We're going to get wings. And we tried a couple different places.
And I trust you with food because we're on the same page with the hot dogs.
Right. And I'm not going to lie to you. If they're garbage, I'm going to tell you, whatever. But
Yeah.
I've had I love wings. I absolutely love wings. And I've had a lot of wings like in this area. And I still think, and this is like me just stumbling upon, I don't even remember how it happened. I think we went there one night because it was Southside 313. After it was Loopers, we're like, all right, whatever. They changed the name. It says new ownership. Let's give it a shot. I got the wings and I was like, wow, these are incredible wings. And so right off the bat, you could tell, like, when we're trying to figure it out, we don't know if they're, first of all, you get them extra crispy well done, and you actually get them extra crispy well done. We found out that hot sauce is different than any other hot sauce around here. It's not, you're not just getting Frank's Red Hot.
No,
Buffalo.
he makes his own ranch. He makes his own blue cheese.
Everything.
He makes everything.
Yeah. So he makes his own pickles, Bill's Pickles. And they were okay. And
I really like the pickle.
Of course you did. And
well, I also sat on it.
You're like, this tastes nice. You're sick.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill's Pickles. But no, I think everything about it is good. And now we've gone, 2 weeks in a row straight, right?
Yeah, we went 2 weeks in a row.
We've tried a couple different flavors. Maybe the
peanut
mistake,
butter and jelly was...
but it was still good. But the wing was good.
Yeah, the wing was good.
Regardless of what the
we
sauce
went twice
was,
in
the
a
wing
row,
was good.
And the consistency of the wing was there, too.
The fries are good. The wing was
The fries
good.
are on point.
The burger was those burger sliders we had was
Yep.
good.
He's getting ground hamburger. He's making patties. It's not the Bill, whoever he is, knows how to fucking cook, and he knows how to do sauces, and like he makes his own ketchup. Like he's making everything, which goes a long fucking way in a bar.
Right. The biggest mistake we made potentially was ordering the 13 pepper.
No, I liked that.
But they were good. But they were good.
But that's fun to do.
Yeah. It's like
the mistake was is that we asked how hot they were.
Yeah, I think we were lied to.
If you do that, I think if we would have ordered the 13 pepper, I think they would have
not said anything.
He made those hot.
Yeah,
he made those hot.
You're right.
And that's what I would do in a kitchen because it's not busy when we go in. Because if you go in at like 5, 6 o'clock on a fucking Tuesday, the place is the college kids sitting in the back fucking orchard or whatever the fuck is back there.
No, you're right because she went back and asked him.
Yeah. So then he's like, all right, well these fucking assholes think that they're gonna be able to just eat hot food. Yeah.
And
which
then
we did, but it was fucking hot.
Let's revisit that because you had the first
bite I had was a punch in the dick.
Yeah. And he was like, I mean, he always sweats, but it's not that big of a deal. But you were sweating like crazy. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, these are good. I was like, these are good. Obviously, they're hot. I can handle like okay hot.
Yeah.
But that was like at the limit, I think, for me personally, where I was like, all right, these are tolerable. I'm going to eat them, but like I'm still like I look like an idiot eating these at a bar because I'm like my nose is running. I'm doing weird things. Like with my hands, I'm like, I'm doing dumb stuff. Like I'm red. So, but you had that first one. It was super hot. I had the first one. It was hot. And then I remember I had my second one because I waited a little. I had the second one. And I was like, oh, this one's way better. Like it's not that bad. I don't remember what you did with your second, but then I had my third. And it was like a completely. Well, it was a completely different experience.
I was dunking those motherfuckers in ranch.
Yeah, you had the ranch.
Yeah.
But the third was completely different. I think the third one that I had was like the first one you had because I remember that. I remember that third one just was completely different.
Yeah. Like I got wings at Miguel's and they have good wings there, but he does something with the sauce where he makes it himself. And the one time he made it way too fucking hot.
Yeah.
And it was just like intolerable to fucking eat. But like we had already ate. Because we plow food when we go there because we're kind of still trying to get through the menu. So we got the sliders, and I was like, all right, I would come here for a burger, which says a lot because there's not a lot of places that have a good burger, in my opinion.
True.
Like I go by good burgers as like Two Rivers, Union and Finch, and that's about all I can think of.
Right.
Anywhere else is you're just getting a frozen patty or they're just not salting and peppering it correctly. Like if you have a burger at Union and Finch, you're looking at, that's the top 3 burgers. I would say Union and Finch is the best burger in the fucking valley just because of the atmosphere you're getting there. The consistency's on point. The wait staff is fucking awesome. Like there really isn't any black eyes with fucking Union and Finch. Like they do a really good job of completely across the board hitting a fucking home run.
The most important thing for me personally is like, and I don't really know anything about any of this, but the most important thing for me is like consistency.
Yeah.
If I go to this place once a month at any given time, I want If I'm
you want the same experience.
If I'm going somewhere and I'm like, man, I really want a burger from so-and-so because last time we had it, it was so good. And there's nothing more like disheartening than like going somewhere and having that burger and being like, this was not the burger that I had last time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then you're like, your experience is ruined and you're really hesitant to go back again.
Yeah, I mean, the wings at Southside, both times we went were just like completely on point, and I still don't know how they do it. Because I think, like I was talking to Mad J's because he does wings on Sundays, and I want to start doing something with him where I just want to do something with like a wing flavor or something.
Yeah.
But smoking wings is fucking, it's awesome.
Right.
And then and I think that's what when
and it's
when
the
we
quality
leave,
of wing.
Yeah,
I think
when we leave here,
start,
we're going to the
it's quality
Roadhouse.
of
But
wing.
like, I think the quality of because I had the last 2 times I did wings, I got wings from Sailors, and they were fucking 200 times better than anything you could get anywhere else. And then I was just like, damn, I was like, this really makes a difference having this fresh fucking chicken
fresh
like
start,
this.
Right, having the wing.
So then we were like brining them in pickle juice and with the pickles I use for the thing, because I'm going to get a deep fryer soon, and I can't wait till the fucking new studio's here. Because there's just so much shit that people don't do. And if people do them, people don't know about it, like Southside, where it's like, I'm 90% sure that dude's wings are smoked and then fucking deep fried.
I agree. I think there's some sort of smoking
There's something
to it,
with the texture of the chicken.
and we've bit into them, and you get a little pinkish
Yeah.
kind of in some spots. So I feel like there has to be some sort of smoked something there. It has to be, and you kind of the way it falls off the bone, like multiple times, you eat those, and you're left with the bone, and you're not getting this weird chewy stuff or like.
And just even how crispy they got.
Yeah.
And like I have cooked wings in restaurants, and a lot of times everybody partially cooks them, and then you drop them again, so they're becoming crispy, and it's just faster to cook them that way. But theirs doesn't taste that way because there's still a little bit of like it's still tender,
Right.
So it's getting cooked before it goes in, and I could be wrong, and it could be fresh stuff that they do, but like in my opinion, it seems like it's smoked. That guy's taking all the steps to make the sauces and all that shit, so. I don't know. Like, I was super impressed with the food to the fact that, like, I talked to some people, and, like, if I would go to the casino now or, like, go to do something in Bethlehem.
If you're in that area.
Or even just going to Bethlehem on the south side, I would fucking go there for dinner.
Make it a point to go
Yeah,
there and
because
stop.
you can go in, you can get a bar seat, and, you know,
Right.
the other thing is, like, we haven't really been killed on the bill there. Like
No.
now they normally do their half off, but because of wing prices, which is insane, where Jay was telling me from Mad Jay's is that people were getting arrested at the fucking restaurant depot because they're taking chicken wings and putting them inside the containers for chicken breasts because chicken wing prices are through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
So like he said there was like 3 people that got arrested in one day that were fucking like they're arrested and hauled out, charges pressed.
No
Because
way.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are just like they do it at Lowe's and Home Depot and all that shit where they'll just like put or Sam's Club and shit where like say you buy a fucking bin, they're
Right,
like
and you're
shoving
putting
food.
everything
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
yeah.
Who has the balls to do that
Yeah.
shit? Like the walk when you get put in a car and the cops like, what
That's
are you
embarrassing,
doing?
yeah. Oh, I stole some chicken wings.
Yeah. He's like, I have like a murder
Because I
going on.
couldn't, because I couldn't pay for these chicken wings and then charge more for them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna steal them and then
Yeah.
charge everybody and say
You know what?
the price of wings
Here's
are
a,
up.
Yeah, here's a tip.
Fucking
Yeah,
cowards.
here's a tip for a fellow wing eater. You know, make a better wing.
Yeah. And they do
make
make
a
a
good
better
wing.
wing there. That wing's awesome. I'm excited to go over to Fessler and Dustin and Jandrew turned me on to, and this could go horribly wrong because we could go up to that bar and like it's totally changed in COVID and they're not doing the same thing anymore.
Right.
I'm hoping things are back to normal because if it sucks.
Well, when you called them though, didn't you?
Yes, but they just said we have wings, but that doesn't mean that they're doing them the same way because they also do. I think that they were grilling them and then deep frying them and then they have their own sauce. But dude, I ate 3 dozen because I just started going through. Like, you know, if it's
How long ago was this? So
last year,
Oh, okay.
but I know that like during the pandemic and shit, they were looking for somebody to rent the kitchen out. My buddy Alessandro was going to take over. So like, I know that there's different things that are going on.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario,
The wing steak.
we get bad wings and we bounce and then we go down to the Daisy Dairy bar and get a cheeseburger.
There you go. Done.
Boom, boom.
What time are all these places open till?
I don't know. We can roll out of here soon. Because we're at 56, so it's probably like 40 minutes we've done.
I genuinely challenge anyone who does. Who,
Yeah, let's just wrap
who
up.
like loopers. Like loopers had a bad rap. Whatever it is, what it is, and I don't blame anybody for being like, "Yo, Looper sucked," because like it wasn't the best bar. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. But like, if anybody is like rethinking it, just try the food, give it
Yeah.
a shot. And I'm not plugging any restaurant, but like, it could even takeout. Like I've had takeout from there. I've had their full size burger. I've had their wings. Even takeout, it's good. It's still a good wing.
I want to get into the, what was the other thing they had? Like the fucking egg rolls that have fucking pulled pork in them.
Yeah. We didn't get those, right?
No, we didn't get them. I want to try his mozzarella too because I think he makes
I
mozzarella.
thought we tried something last time. Oh no! Oh, we did the slider. We did the burger
sliders?
those were good.
What did we get the first time? We did wings and then we
Hot
did.
dog. We did the
the
hot
hot dog. And the hot dog wasn't
that was
bad.
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it was good because they did the Coney Island onions.
It was huge. Yeah, you're right. And then
he
they brought it
did.
on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
It was a big burger or a big hot dog. He ate it one bite.
Let's go eat food. We're gonna go over to what the fuck is it?
Loopers.
Nope. The Roadhouse.
The Roadhouse.
The biker one,
Patrick
not
Swayze.
the fucking other one over towards Bethlehem.
Yeah. Is that another?
Yeah, I don't know. Plug your social media. You want to plug Scribbles and Drips?
Sure, Scribbles and Drips.
All right. All right.
Check us out.
There's links in the website and stuff. That was a good plug.
Back to me. Back to you. Back to you.
All right.
Back to me one more time.
And
Scribbles and Drips.
we're doing the cha-cha. NeverAgainStudio.com is where we have all the YouTube content. It's where we have all the shows. It's where everybody can find everything we're doing. If you're a small business and you need help with commercials, branding, I do apparel. If you want to sponsor the podcast, we will help your business grow. All the information is there. Reach out to me. We also have 9mm ammo right now from Keystone Munitions at nazoammo.com. Go sign up.
It's good ammo.
Sign up for the newsletter. Sign up for all that shit. We have way more stuff coming down the pipe with that business. We're just getting it going. So we can ship anywhere in Pennsylvania. You can pick up at the studio, and you could also... what was the other thing that you can do? I think it's just pick up at the studio, or you can get it shipped to you locally.
If anybody knows anything about guns, ammo's hard to get.
Yep. And we got it. I got a fuck ton of 9mm. So everyone who's like, oh, I don't have any ammo, where can I get it? We're at a competitive, fair price, and we have no limit purchasing. So if you want to buy everything I got down here,
huge.
take it. Yeah. I'm not asking you to buy a Target and a fucking deer stand in order to fucking buy a fucking box of ammo. Get the fuck out of here.
Or a gun.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, man. I always love doing these. Maybe the guys will come together and do Road Dogs again, but who knows? They seem to have banished us.
Yeah.
I think they're doing their own thing.
I heard we can't even do it anyways because I heard Pot's Hot Dogs has permanently closed.
Pot's did not close, and you don't have to wear a mask in there.
Due to lack of sales.
Nope. Yakos, they blast, or Yakos cut out their bun, and then they shut small business out.
They did. You're right. They did.
How awkward was that fucking post?
Yeah. Yakos stinks.
Yeah. Whatever.
They don't stink. They just
Yeah.
They will. I mean, we literally do. This gets me worked up. They literally do. They repo. Whoever runs their social media is probably that Macklemore kid with the stupid hat that works in
Mac
Airport
Miller,
Road.
baby.
But I'm telling you, we do a show about hot dogs, and I literally I just blast and promote Yakos. I feel like every time we're here, and I'm starting to get worked up about it because then we tag them in something and they don't even repost.
No, they read. Well, they read the. Yeah. I messaged them and was like, "Hey man, I would love to have you on to talk about the story."
And
of
then they just repost some idiot standing on a rock wearing a Yakos t-shirt.
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, their social media and everything's fucking garbage. Fuck them.
It's probably because whoever runs the Airport Road location stinks.
Stinks to high heaven.
At Stinky Yakos Hot.
We're going to get wings. I don't know. We'll do this again. This is fun. I just like doing ones where it's just dick. Like we can just talk about whatever. It's not an interview. Like what?
Are you gonna wear your linen pants tonight?
I'm wearing linen now, motherfucker. It's fucking summer linen, bro.
All right,
God bless.
God bless.
I believe it.